Hello, everybody.
Welcome back to another episode of
A BJJ Marriage, where we talk about our lives as a married jiu-jitsu couple. I did it. I didn't get click happy.
You counted the correct proper time.
I almost clicked it. Did you hear me? I clicked and then you were like 3 and I'm like, oh. But anyway, hello guys. Welcome back to episode 49, which, fun fact, it's actually been...
49. That was really hard.
It was really difficult. Well, you just woke up.
Yep.
So you don't get out of bed. But it was going to be, I think, tomorrow. It was either yesterday or tomorrow, however the years work like that, is our 1-year anniversary of this podcast.
Yes.
I think it's tomorrow.
I don't know. Sometime in January last year, we started this podcast.
Yeah.
And
How
Brittany,
exciting.
you used to be way more nervous about recording the podcast.
I didn't like talking into the camera. It
Uh-huh.
was weird.
Yeah, it was all like, so we hit this, and this. And we talk about specific things.
Yep. But I still don't make eye contact with the camera because I still think that's weird. I feel like it's kind of like breaking a fourth wall or something. I'm gonna sneeze.
Deadpool. Watermelon.
What? What is a watermelon?
You never heard that?
No.
If you say watermelon in between someone sneezes, it stops sneezing.
Really? That's a myth.
Nope. Do it.
I don't believe you.
Well, there's only one way to
I'm
figure
gonna
out.
sneeze again just to prove you wrong.
I'm going to scream watermelon at you.
Okay.
You're not going to know what to do.
Like, I've heard of white elephant with getting rid of a fire. Like, when you're at a fire and smoke is coming at you, if you say white elephant like 3 times, then it goes away. You've never heard me do that? I swear, I do it every single time. You must not be paying attention because you don't love me.
Number one source of stress for our marriage? This podcast. No, I'm just kidding.
But I say that all the time. There's other things that people say to get rid of fire smoke, but the one that I've always done is white elephant.
I've never heard of that. Or anything.
Well,
to
let's
get
go.
rid of
You want to
fire
go have a
smoke.
fire right now?
Yeah, it sounds great, actually.
13 degrees, sun's
Yes.
bright and shining.
Yep, we can have an ice bath, have
No.
a fire.
No.
It would be
I'm
great.
out. I'm done.
Yeah. So how was your week of training?
Really? You're
Yeah.
just gonna throw me under the bus like that?
Yeah, what did you do this week?
Nothing. Literally nothing.
You quit?
Mm-hmm.
You finally got the blues?
Mm-hmm. Blue Belt Blues came quick. Hard and fast, but
What was up with you this week?
I got sick. Which
You
was
got
annoying.
sick?
It's not COVID.
It's
I
not
checked. I
COVID.
checked 3 times.
You checked? What do you mean you got sick and it's not COVID?
I didn't know that still existed.
I think you're still sick, actually.
I am. I'm a little stuffy right now.
Yeah?
So, sorry that for those of you who have to listen to me keep on going. But
I'm not sick.
no, you're not. You never get sick. And when you do, you're a baby about it.
That's hurtful.
But it's true.
Well, maybe because I get really sick.
Okay, I get really sick, but I still tough it out.
You're not very sick right now?
I'm fine now, kind of.
You make excuses to yourself so you can do things.
Yeah, I like doing things. My husband tells me stop. You told me not to do things multiple times this week.
Yeah.
You're holding me back from my potential.
I'm holding you back from not dying. I would really appreciate it if you were no longer sick and you could do all the things you wanted to do.
Today I woke him up and I was like, wake up, I've been up for 2 hours. I cleaned the house and I shoveled the driveway. And he was like, you're sick, what are you doing? And I was like, I needed to do something physical.
Terrible idea. Go out in 11-degree weather and shovel while you're sick.
Yep.
While your perfectly capable husband just sleeps away in the bed, not knowing that other people have woken up in the house.
You shouldn't be so lazy.
Maybe you should wake me up.
I try. Don't even. Scarlett even tried to wake you up too. And you're like, oh, we're going to cuddle.
Gotta try harder. Gotta try to choke me or something.
Oh, okay. I could probably do it while you're sleeping.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
Challenge accepted.
I would take that challenge. Attack me in my sleep. Let's see what happens.
You don't wake up, so yeah. Okay, let's do it. I'm down. Stay tuned. Next week, we'll let you know how that goes. But anyway, no, I did not train this week. I was going a little stir crazy in my house. I still went to work because it wasn't COVID, but I kind of...
I told you also not to go to work.
See, he's holding me back from my potential. But... yeah, he decided to still go to the gym without me. And it was funny because I think it was Friday and he was getting ready to leave. And I was just like, I'm so jealous. And he was like, okay, bye.
I said, I love you. Bye.
I didn't hear that part.
Oh,
I just heard
selective sick hearing.
I just heard, I'm going to the gym and you can't, so sucks to be you. Ha, bye.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said.
Yeah.
Enjoy laying in the bed, lazy ass.
Yeah. Made my back hurt. I'm ready to roll again.
Want to roll after this?
No.
Oh, well, you're just contradicting yourself all over the place, aren't you?
But, yeah. No, I was sick all week, so I didn't get any training in. This is very annoying, especially since I go a lot. To just sit at home and then he leaves me.
You tried working out, too, on Thursday.
Yeah.
How'd that go for you?
Not good.
What happened?
I'm pretty sure I was very close to passing out. So that wasn't cool. But I was like, oh, it's a negative test. I'm going to at least go try to do some cardio so that I can maybe fight these white blood cells a little bit harder. I don't know. I don't know what was going through my brain. I just wanted to work out. I'm not used to not working out. So I went to Fluid and I lifted some weights and did some cardio exercises and I hit the bag.
All by herself.
Yep.
She wasn't sharing her ickiness with other people.
Yep. And I hit the bag and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna go now. And Gabe, our Muay Thai guy, was like, you look amazing. It was sarcastic because I looked terrible. He's like, can you tell I've said the wrong thing to women enough that you didn't hear him say that?
No.
He's like, yep, I have to tell you look amazing even though you look like shit. So here we go. And then he told me that I looked extremely pale and very white and like I was about to pass out. And I was like, okay, cool. So then I literally put on my sweatshirt and I walked towards the door and I don't think I could make it there. Like I had to go physically sit myself down because I thought I was going to fall over. And that was a little rough.
I have no idea what I was doing at that time. Because I remember you sitting in the chair, but that's it.
Yep.
I think you were trying to hide to me how sick you were because I had told you not to go to the gym.
Mm. Did you? I don't think you did. I don't think you said that.
I don't know.
But anyway, long story short, that did not go well for me. And I have been doing nothing since then.
Mm-hmm. Except for shoveling and waking up early, try to clean the house and stuff.
That was 4 days later.
See, I'm leading by example, showing you how you should rest.
Mm. I've been resting all week. I'm bored.
And yet, we still didn't finish any Marvel movies.
No, I fell asleep.
That's okay.
How was your week of training?
My week of training.
I don't care.
Okay.
I don't want to hear about it. I'm just kidding. No, you can talk to me about it.
My week of training was super fun.
No way.
Yeah. I don't remember Tuesday at all for some reason. Oh, that's because I can't do women's class on Tuesday.
Did you do Muay Thai though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did Muay Thai. That's when you first started getting sick and you were like, I don't think I should go.
Yeah.
And I was like,
okay
bye.
Yes. That's what you did.
The other thing is, the other reason I leave her at home is because a lot of times I'm either teaching a private lesson or like Wednesday I was teaching class also.
It's also because he doesn't love me.
Main reason, maybe, but it's easy to weave that in with all the other reasons.
Yeah.
So yeah, I go for private lessons and then also get my extra little workout in before class. And then I taught class Wednesday, which I'm sorry, but it was super fun. I taught half of the system that I used in last competition and the competition before and many other competitions, but getting to the back and then getting the reverse triangle on the neck and arm and working the arm bars, kimuras, triangles, all from that position.
See, that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Wish I could have been there.
I can give you a private lesson anytime you'd like.
Oh, thanks.
But yeah, I love that position, and I love taking the back and showing more options from the back. So that was super fun to teach. And it was a little more complex than what we normally teach at Fluid, but I think some people got some value out of it. And I heard a couple of good things about people trying it out and
Oh, really?
understanding some new stuff.
That's cool. I haven't heard anything from anyone because I haven't been there.
Oh, sorry.
Just a little salty. No,
So,
I'm more salty because I was just sick in November. So 2 months ago I was sick, and I had to stay away for a week, and it's just annoying. I don't like being sick every 2 months. That's all. That's the only reason I'm like super salty about it.
Right.
Because it doesn't feel like that long ago.
Yeah, because you know that like physically you're sick and you shouldn't go, but mentally you're like, this fucking sucks.
Yeah.
I would much rather do something with my brain and my body. When I'm not working out, I'm losing progress.
Yep.
Blah, 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 blah.
Yep. Not meeting my goals that I want to meet.
Yeah, so it can be very discouraging. But yeah, after Wednesday, that was a fun no-gi. That was a super fun no-gi class. I loved it. Thursday, I felt like I got my ass kicked. But we did... So I did sign up for a Pankration fight. If you guys didn't see that on our BJJ Marriage page, which is super fun. It's going to be a Pankration exhibition fight here in Milwaukee. Mm-hmm. So it's not like sanctioned and it won't go against a record or anything, but it's a good intro to MMA to see if you're into striking and grappling at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Well, you've been doing Muay Thai for about 3 years now. And
yeah, around there.
Anyone who puts in 3 years worth of work does not suck. So, for the most part. Maybe.
Yes.
Okay, anyway. But I think it'll be good for you to expand out of your comfort zone because you are so used to doing grappling, and not that competition is easy by any means, and it's not stressful to leading up to it and trying to make weight and knowing who you're going against and everything. Like, obviously competition is its own beast, but this is far outside of something that you've ever done before. And so I think it'll be good for you, especially because you're not an idiot when it comes to striking. So you'll really see how your skills are put to the test.
Oh, thanks. And thank you for letting me go get punched and kicked in the ring somewhere.
Yeah, but it's not in the face, so it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that Desiree is letting Gustavo do the kickboxing fight.
Oh.
She flat out told me, she was like, I don't want him to get hurt. I'm like, he'll be fine. And I'm thinking, like, I wouldn't let Nick do it either. So.
You wouldn't?
I don't know.
Yeah, we haven't crossed that bridge yet.
We'd have to really talk about that.
Yeah.
Are you still thinking about that? No, because of the other thing coming up, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, so the Pankration I signed up for because it makes me feel very nervous and anxious and, like, apprehensive. Those are all the feelings I know is the outer limit of my comfort zone. And in order to push past that, I just got to fucking do it. So I signed up and I was like, I'm going to do it and I'm going to learn and it's going to be a great time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about that. But we were doing some training for that on Thursday and I took a knee to my shin, which did not feel very good. So then the rest of Thursday, also I felt like my sparring partners on Thursday were just kicking my ass for no reason. And I got a little black eye and I got some cauliflower ear and some like a bunch of like little random injuries to deal with this week of training. But I did pick up the pace and speed of training, so that's what it comes with, is when you train harder, you start to add up little injuries to your body. So like I've told you, for your blue belt, part of being a good blue belt is learning how to manage your injuries and train through or around them.
Because God knows I have a ton of them all the time.
Oh, maybe.
I'm like the most injury-prone person at the gym.
Maybe God was like, hey, you need to give your knees a rest. You know what? You're not listening, so I'm going to give you a sickness that's going to let you not grapple for at least a week. Maybe more.
Oh, my God. I don't even want to go longer than a week. I'm so ready for Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
So ready to get back on the mats. But
Yeah.
I've been thinking about takedowns for days. Have I told you that? Like, it's literally just been spinning in my head of all of these things that I just want to try and do. And I want to be on my feet so bad. Like, I just want to do takedowns. Because I haven't been able to for so long. Because, one, I wasn't training for a competition. And 2, my knees started going really bad a couple months ago.
Yep.
So I haven't done, like, stand-up in a really long time. And all week this week, just because I'm stuck in bed and just have my thoughts. And I'm like, I'm just thinking about everything that I want to do right now. And I'm super excited about it. And, like, I really want to do that throw that John Friedland showed us. And there's also this, it's kind of a self-defense move, but also a throw at the same time that I've been thinking about that I really want to drill this week. And then there's a stand-up armbar that Mike Coy sent me that I really want to drill this week. And there's just so much stand-up. Anyone who wants to do stand-up with me this week nicely, like, flow. Yes. No, I'm serious. Like, I want to with you, but, like, anyone who wants to work on stand-up this week, like, I am ready. Let's do it.
Yes.
But I have to go on a flow. Otherwise, I will hurt my knees again, and then I'll never be able to compete. Because it is my goal to compete at least once this year.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I want to compete in February, but my dear husband told me no again.
You got to heal your knees first.
I know.
Yeah. Managing your injuries is more important.
I know.
For your long-term longevity.
I don't think Gabe would let me compete either. So if my husband and my dad, who's my coach, and my Muay Thai coach all tell me it's not a good idea, I should probably just listen. Because I'm being told by 3 of my coaches to not compete. So I should probably not.
Maybe.
But I could do it.
You could.
I would be fine.
So if you lost, though, thing is, if you're injured and you lost, you're not going to blame it on skill. You're going to blame it on injuries.
So I should go do it now.
That's not a good way to look back at things.
I actually said that I want to compete very soon as a newer blue belt, because then if I lose, I can blame it on being a newer blue belt and I just have things to work on. I mean, I'm always going to have things to work on no matter what rank I'm at, but, like, if I just get smashed out there, it's going to be like, I'm just a new blue belt. I don't know anything.
Less of a hit to your ego.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. That's some of the thoughts that were swirling through my head going into my first purple belt matches and my first advanced no-gi matches.
But you freaking dominated it.
Well,
like, blew it out of the water, dominated.
I just put my best out there, you know.
Yeah, and then I have to compare and live up to that.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
I can help you with that. Mm-hmm. That's something else that I want to talk about in this episode too, later on. But yeah, so I signed up for Pankration.
Oh my God, I did spill.
Are you okay?
I thought I spilled. I didn't know where. It's right here.
Okay.
Anyway, yep. Continue.
So, yes, I did sign up for Pankration, and I have a penciled-in match at, like, 175 pounds.
Woo!
So, I'm excited about that.
I think your opponent's 180, but yeah.
Yep. That's all right. I'll be all right. It'll be fun. It'll be at Primal. We'll probably put out some more info in case you guys want to come out and watch. There's a spectator fee of $15. But, yeah, it's going to be fun.
Who's cornering you?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
Your dad's in Brazil.
That week? Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Gabe said he was like, yeah, I'll come corner, but when you're on the ground, I don't know what the fuck to tell you.
I'll corner you?
I have some plans.
Okay.
It's okay.
I know what to do on the ground.
Yeah, I know. We could be like Mike Perry and his girlfriend.
Yeah. No. No. Hey, that is insulting.
What?
She doesn't train.
She's hit pads once or twice before.
Yep.
Okay. Anyways, so yeah, I felt like I got beat up on Thursday. But yeah, I had to drain my ears. I've had to massage out my shin and put some high-powered Bengay on it. Feel like an old man dealing with my injuries. But I rolled like super light on Thursday, and I had a really good time using technique and like not using any strength because I was all beaten up already, and I was wearing headgear.
And your cauliflower ear.
Yeah, to help my cauliflower ear, and my body was sore from being punched and kicked and stuff.
Is your belt shiny too? It
Yes.
is.
Wow.
Tama belts are so pretty, guys.
You're so cute. Okay, squirrel. Anyways.
And Mike Coy's laughing.
Yeah. And then what happened Friday?
I don't know. I
Not
wasn't
much.
there.
Oh, I had
yeah,
kids.
you taught kids class.
I taught kids class.
That's when you were like, okay, bye.
And it was funny because I was teaching the kids. We did a simple combo where it was block across, and then you return with a cross, a head hook, and a body hook. And they couldn't figure out that they could punch with the same hand more than once in a row. And I was trying to tell them, like, not every punch has to be left, right, left, right. Sometimes it's good to throw a right, and then a left to the body, and they're not going to know what's happening. And also, I was trying to get the kids ready for pankration, get them used to punching the liver. They had issues.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like it.
Also, they listen better to you than they do to me because you look better.
It's because they're all boys.
Yeah, well, maybe they're not into me, they're into you.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I would have been there if I could have been.
Yeah.
I have been told one of them listens way better when I'm around.
Yep.
Yes.
He did good, though.
That's good.
Like, he was like, yeah.
Anyway. And
Yeah.
then...
And then Saturday, I told her I was going to the gym, and she was like, "You're not staying home with me today." And I was like, "I'll stay home with you." So I gave up training to stay home with you all day.
Thanks. You
You're
had
welcome.
a good day, though.
It was
you
a
got
good
to play
day.
video games, and you got some work done, and it was just a good, solid day of not leaving the house.
Yeah, we did some good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Very productive.
Yep.
And then we were going to bed last night, which was Saturday, and it was probably like, I don't know, 10:30 when we got into bed to start watching a movie, and I was just like, we didn't take a nap today. And you were like, what? And I said, that's crazy. When did we ever just stay home all day and not take a nap? Like, that's just blasphemy.
Yes.
So yeah, we had a busy day.
Busy.
Not leaving the house.
Yeah. Yeah. But the topic that we did want to talk about and what we're training so hard for is all of the upcoming tournaments and competitions that are on the schedule for this year, since there's no more COVID and people are putting dates out for us to sign up for.
Yeah.
Which is super exciting. But yeah, so far I did the January tournament. I've got February Pankration. March, there's a couple things in the area that I'm like looking at, but nothing I've signed up for because I really want to make sure beginning of April is Pans in Florida, and I want to be in tip-top shape. There was a March kickboxing fight that I thought about doing in Minnesota, but it was too close to Pans, and I didn't want to be injured. And I want to make sure that throughout March, I'm not injured so that in Pans, I can put out my best performance ever in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
It's my plan.
Hopefully, after Pans is over, there will be another amateur kickboxing fight that you can maybe get your feet wet in. But right now, obviously, like signing up for Pans is probably the biggest step that you've taken in your grappling career.
Yeah.
So you want to, like you said, be in tip-top shape for that.
Yes. I'm going to train hard, train smart, and bring it.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Yeah. And then outside of that, there's lots of competitions being announced all around the area. There's super fights, brackets that are just like opening up that I could sign up for that I'm also thinking about. There's a Valhalla Challenge, which is in the middle of like a Viking festival. It's a 8-person no-gi absolute tournament in Stoughton. And the winner wins a custom engraved Viking axe. And I'm really interested in signing up for that tournament.
I'm sure you are.
It looks awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, there's at Fuji in February, 2 weeks after the Pankration fight, there's a super fight bracket where everybody signs up. It's under 180 pounds, absolute no gi, and you pay $100 to enter the bracket, and whoever wins first place takes all the money that went into the bracket.
Well.
And if I'm healthy after Pankration, I might do that. We'll see. But we've got lots of plans for competing and making lots of events this year and getting out there and expanding the competition bug at Fluid and our team.
Mm-hmm. We have lots of big plans coming up. I mean, outside of competition too, Fluid is just always busy, especially with it being a new year. We're trying to get our calendars situated and figuring out all of our annual events that we do and how we're going to make it bigger and grander and better this year and all that stuff. Like, we're doing a soup potluck on Saturday, February 5th. So if you're in the area and you want to come have an open mat and then eat some really good soup from people afterwards, come hang out with us. That'll be our first one of that, which will be super cool. We've done a chili potluck before, but I think the soup potluck will be a little bit more
expansive.
Yeah, and we got the word out pretty early, so hopefully people will bring out some really unique food, because I love food.
Food is great.
But yeah, then we always do like a prom. Like every June we do our own Fluid prom where people dress up in like the most hideous clothes that they can find.
Yeah, like Goodwill dresses and suits, and then rip them and choke each other out with them, which is super fun.
Yeah.
No ties, though.
Nope. And I don't know if I'm supposed to be sharing this yet, but I'm going to anyway because I'm excited about it, is we're going to be doing like a huge Christmas party this year. We had talked about doing it last year, but we just thought about it too late, so we didn't end up doing it. But Fluid will be doing a pretty large Christmas party this year. It'll be more like an office corporate type of Christmas party rather than just a gym. So it'll be super fun, and I'm really excited to start planning that and getting that all situated because, yeah, lots of stuff.
Oh, we got camps coming up too?
Yeah.
We got the Gentle Art Lifestyle Camp in February, in between Pankration and Fuji.
Yep.
So
yes, basically we have like this weekend, and then we have Pankration, and then we have a camp, and then we have amateur kickboxing fights to be at for our friends, and then we have pans, and then after, like, we haven't thought past pans yet, but hopefully I'll be competing soon-ish too.
Yes.
As long as these stupid knees can heal.
Yeah, we got to get Brittany doing some physical therapy so she can strengthen the supporting muscles for her knees. But and then we'll get her on the competition schedule also. But yeah, we've got lots of events planned for the future and lots of experience to be gained this year.
Yes.
It's going to be a great year.
Yes.
Of competition and gold medals. Yeah,
and it's all about, I mean, Nick and I are very big goal setters. We always have been. That's what keeps us motivated, is we set a large goal that's like super far off that we are working ourselves to, but then we also set like intermediate goals too that we can work and check off of our bucket list as we're getting to that large goal. And then once we hit that large goal, then we create another one. And we're constantly working towards being the better versions of ourselves all the time. Like right now, we just surpassed our biggest goal that we've been working towards for the last couple of years, and we're super excited to have that out of our way. And
it was a personal goal.
Yeah, it was not a jiu-jitsu goal, but it was a personal goal that we were able to achieve and finally get done, and it's a super cool feeling after 3 years of working towards that. So now we have new goals, which is going to be, I think, very competition-based this year.
Yeah, lots of competition-based goals. And the thing about goals is if you live goal to goal, that can add up to never being fulfilled because you always have something you're chasing. So you got to find that balance of setting goals to work towards and then breaking that down into how you're living on a daily basis in accordance to those goals. So you want your goals almost to be like a North Star that you're working towards, but the way that you really do the best at those goals and to live how you want to live is to make sure that you are the type of person doing the work today that is going to reach that goal in the future. Instead of that goal comes up or the time frame comes up or certain situations change that goalpost, and then your expectations start to go out the window, and then you start to bring in a lot of internal stress for yourself. And instead of living daily on the path towards that goal and just doing what you can at the time and making good decisions towards it.
So something that my dad has talked about on his little YouTube channel, and we've actually never given that a shout out, so I'm going to give that a shout out right now, especially for those of you who don't know him. He's a pretty insightful guy. He can talk about a lot of things, and his are much shorter than ours. Ours are about an hour. His are about 15 minutes, but it's called a Mat Side Chat. His name is Brent Fitzgerald. We can put a link of that in our comments, but he has his own YouTube channel that he goes live every Friday on Facebook, and then he uploads it to YouTube as well. but he always does. They are jiu-jitsu based, but they're more like conceptual, where he'll bring, like if he's talking about goals, he'll bring up goals in general, and then he'll kind of sprinkle jiu-jitsu in there. But it's also a jiu-jitsu podcast, basically. So if you're interested in that, I would give him a follow. I listen to them every week, and they're super cool. But one of them that he talked about was a goal-setting one. And the biggest thing that I took away from that, listening to that one, was you want to be able to set a goal for yourself that is not inachievable, like it's so far out that you're never going to get there, but you also don't want it to not be a challenge, because if it's not a challenge, then it won't be rewarding for you.
Yes.
Like, depending on where you're at in your day, in your life, wherever, like however you see a goal for yourself, like maybe someone eating breakfast every day is a small goal to someone, but a huge goal for someone who's maybe anorexic. Like, that's broad scheme, but like
relative.
Yeah, but like any goal can be big depending on where you're at and how you think about it. So something for me that I would work towards is I would, like, if a competition is my goal, like that's not unattainable for me. I can do it this year, even through injuries, but it's going to be a challenge for me to actually get there, because I have to work through some injuries to get there.
Right.
So
so getting to a competition is harder for you than me just signing up for any random competition.
Right. So you want to make it challenging for yourself so that by the time you can make it to that goal, whether I win or lose a competition, the fact is that I made it there. And the biggest thing that I tell any competitor, especially a friend of mine who just competed this weekend and didn't live up to her expectations, I just said, as long as you came out learning something and you can improve for next time, that's all that really matters. Like, I didn't even ask her if she won or lost, because I didn't care. The first question I said was, I hope you learned so much. And then she said, I learned so much. And I was like, great. That's really all I care about. Like, I don't care if you won a medal or not. I just want to know that you put yourself out there and you came out learning more about yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's for any goal.
Yes. Yeah, and there's something to be said about picking the right goal also. Because if you have a goal of going out there and winning a tournament, well, yeah, that's like an underlying goal is winning. But if your goal is set to go to a tournament and your expectations are to do your best and learn, then that goal is way more attainable and way more in your control than winning the whole tournament. Because
and get excited.
Right. Yeah, and getting excited about it. But like, if your goal is to win the tournament, there's so many outside factors that you can't control, mainly other people in general. Who else signs up for the tournament?
How good your ref is.
Yeah, your referee. Yeah, the other people's coaches.
Yep.
There's like a lot more that goes into that goal versus what you can control, which is prepare as best you can, be healthy, show up, and just put your best work out there and just have that as your expectation. That goal is way more attainable and easier for you to control than the latter goal.
Because some days you might go out there, and I'm going to go back to competition because that's our goals right now, is some days you might go out there and you might just be flat. Like, you could be training really, really well to go all the way up there. Like, Nick is definitely under his 120 matches at this point. Like, he's had his days where he goes out there and he's just not performing to the best of his ability because he maybe overtrained too much getting ready, or he's just having an off day in your head, because when you're not mentally in there for jiu-jitsu, like, it shows on the mat that you're not mentally there. So...
Yeah, and I've had her dad tell me in the middle of a competition, he was like, I've seen you compete before, and this is not you. So it's up to you if you want to keep going, but you either got to snap out of it, or this is not how you compete.
Yeah, for sure.
I remember that, and I went and cried. I was like, I'm a little bitch. What the fuck, man?
No.
That's also when I almost broke my arm.
Yes. No, that was a different day.
No, never mind that.
But, yeah, I mean, you just have to set realistic goals. That's the best way to put it. And I think that if you're not working towards a goal, whether it's jiu-jitsu or not, like personal work or financial or jiu-jitsu, like wherever you're at and wherever you're trying to attain these goals, you should make them attainable. Yes. Again, don't be shooting for the North Star. Like, you're never going to get there. Maybe years and years and years you can. If you're trying to, like, you should always have, I think you should always be working towards a short-term goal, a medium, mid-term, intermediate, whatever you want to call it, term goal, and then something far out. Yeah,
so this is something that I do for my career as a life coach all the time, is help people develop mini goals, intermediate goals, long-term goals, but ultimately a vision and a mission for their life.
Yep.
So like the North Star is the vision of where you want to be in the future in like 40 years. And then your mission is what you're doing on a daily basis to get to that point. How you are being, what you are doing, the types of decisions that you're making.
I didn't do my worksheet yesterday.
No, you did not.
Either of them. I suck. Oh my God.
It's okay. We have time today. But yeah, so
my life coach is going to yell at me.
There's a vision, there's a mission, right? But then we set up intermediate goals for different areas of your life that you can work towards that help you make a decision. So when you are in the middle of making a decision, you can say, does this support my long-term goals? Yes or no. It's easier when you have a direction that you're working towards. But then it's good to set intermediate goals. So goals that are like milestones to that bigger goal that you're working towards. But then you want to break it down into mini goals, mini habits, the things that are so dumb and minuscule that if you weren't able to do them, then none of the rest of it would happen anyways. So like,
you brought up the running one.
Yeah, the running one.
Just put on your shoes. Don't even go outside or run at all. Just put on your shoes.
Yep, that's like the smallest thing you can do. And if you can't do that, you're never going to run a marathon. Mm-hmm. Right? But if you have a goal to run a marathon and it's hard for you to run 2 miles, well, you got to break it down smaller to start making it easier for you. Because you're never going to get past that 2 miles if you can't start it.
Yeah. I think another thing kind of bridging off of that too for goal setting is that the reason that I like to emphasize that you should have multiple goals that you're reaching towards instead of just one is because if they're your goals and you're serious about them and you're actually going to attain them at some point in your life, once you check that goal off of your list, then what? Then what are you going to do?
Yeah.
So that's why you should constantly have multiple things that you're working towards, because I hear it a lot and probably the most with weddings from brides who have just gotten married is like they had just spent these last like year or 2 years planning this wedding. It consumed their life. It happened every single day. Like they were constantly working with vendors and trying to make sure everything was going to be perfect and making sure everything was on time and their bridesmaids were in order. And like they were just put so much time and energy into this wedding. And then it's a 1-day thing. And then the day after the wedding, they're like, well, now what do I do? Like I have all this time. And I heard it from a lot of my friends where they're just like, I feel like I have nothing to look forward to anymore. And so that actually like really helped me when we were planning our wedding is I wanted to make sure that even when we were done with the wedding, once the day was over, I still had things I was trying to achieve. And that way I wouldn't feel just so like empty. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, cool, I hit this goal. I did this thing that I really wanted to do and I put so much of my life and time into and now it's over. Yeah. Now what?
Yeah. Yeah, and that's one reason I say it depends on how you want to live and who you want to be versus the goals and the milestones that you want to achieve.
Yeah. Our wedding was awesome, though.
Our wedding was great, yes. Yeah. But it's similar to, like, what is it, postpartum depression?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, kind of like that because, I mean, I haven't personally experienced it, and I haven't even researched a lot of it, so if anyone's listening and you get a little sensitive about this topic, I apologize, but from what I understand, it's that you've, again, put so much of your life and your time and your energy and your research into caring for this child that's inside of you. Mm-hmm. And then once you give birth, you're just kind of like, well, now what? Like, now I have to take care of it, but I'm not really taking care of me anymore because I'm taking care of the child instead of, like, the child in me. And again, I could be wrong. I don't know all the specifics on it, but that's where postpartum depression comes in is you need to have more goals outside of just
birthing the child.
Yeah, I guess.
Yes. Yeah, if we're looking at simplistic terms without everything else involved.
Yeah.
That's the analogy I was trying to make. Yeah. But
same with competition. It's like I'm glad that you have all these things racked up because like it's always been a goal of yours for the last probably year to do a striking competition. Yeah. And you signed up for Pankration, and as soon as that's over, you could also probably be like, okay, now what? Like, do I go do another one or do I just stick to grappling or what? So it's good.
Yeah, I'd say the main theme that ties all these goals together for me, though, is train hard, train smart, and continue evolving your game no matter what, right? Because if I'm not prepared, if I'm focused on, like, one match at a time, like, in the future, I'm not going to be worried about my training today, right now, which is training today and right now is way more important than when I show up to the fight. Because by that point, if I haven't trained already, my fight's already lost.
For sure. So I think the reason that we chose this topic today, because we were discussing this morning what we wanted to discuss in this podcast episode, and we had agreed that because it is January, it's the beginning of the year. I know it's end of January, but it's still the beginning of the year. You have all of 2022 ahead of you, and you should be planning for those goals. Like, what do you want to accomplish by the end of this month? What do you want to accomplish by the end of quarter one? What do you want to have done by summer so that you can enjoy your summer? What do you want to have done by, like, maybe you want to do something crazy for Halloween this year? Like, my uncle did the craziest costume I've ever seen in my entire life last year. And that takes time to put together and discuss and think. And, like, Halloween is 9 months away, but, like, maybe you're trying to think of something super fun to do and impress your friends with. And, like, it's these small goals, but they're all attainable because it's going to happen. Like, as long as you're alive, Halloween's going to happen in 9 months. 9 years too. But, or like maybe you're shooting more long term. Like, okay, well in 2021, I'm going to take care of my finances this year. Like, I'm really going to set a goal for myself of what I'm like trying to get a house project done, or maybe I'm trying to buy a dog or things like that. So like if you have these goals that maybe they're not attainable in 2022, maybe they're attainable in like 2024, or like 3 years down the road. And that's when you have to start like kind of putting these things together. And that's where I'm really excited for my future as like a financial planner, is that's what we get you ready for, is we want to not just financially, but in your life, we want to make sure that you have goals that are attainable and that you are excited to reach. But then you also have more to look forward to after that once you reach those goals.
Yeah. And that's why, like you said, also it's good to have multiple goals, because sometimes you have a goal set and then there's something that changes drastically in your life that goal is literally no longer attainable. And if you don't have any other goals at that moment, and that's the one thing you're working towards, then it's just not possible. Like, let's say next week in training, someone heel hooks me and my knee is out for 6 months. If I have nothing else I'm working towards in my life, I'm going to be devastated.
Yeah, for sure.
And that happens to lots of fighters, and then they never come back.
Yeah. I think the other important things about goals, too, there's two more important things. Is one, you have to want the goal. It can't be something that someone else made for you or what someone else envisions for you, because then you're going to have no motivation to do it. You have to actually want to get better and do that thing. And then that comes to the second one, is make sure that they're your own.
Yeah.
Make sure that they're your goals, not what other people envision for you.
Not other people's expectations. Don't live up to other people's expectations.
And that can get really, like, in the gray area with your job specifically. Like, maybe you're working towards something that has nothing to do with the career field that you're in, but maybe your boss sees you as like getting a promotion every year or something, and maybe that's not what you want to do for the rest of your life. So not saying that you shouldn't work hard at your job, but like what you should be doing is focusing on where you want your goals to be. And if being at where you are is not in your 10-year plan, then figure out a way to get by where you're at until you can get to the place that you want to be.
Yeah, that's good advice. Yeah.
Awkward silence.
So, another thing I did want to talk about, though, in this podcast is mentally preparing for like competition or fights in general. And that's something that I'm coming up with in my unique position as being an experienced competitor. And also with Pankration, I'm going to start to becoming a striking experienced person, which is super different, because sparring in general is, I know sparring, like sparring jiu-jitsu at the gym and then you go to competition is different. So I know I'm going to have that shock also with striking in general.
But it kind of leads back to competition where, like, you don't know until you know.
Right.
Like, you can get ready as much as you want, and I can try to help you and corner you or do whatever I need to in the meantime, but, like, neither of us even know what that's like because we've never been in that scenario.
Right.
And you can hear from other people what it's like, but kind of just goes back to Abro competing a couple weeks ago, where I warned him over and over, like, what it's going to be like. And he's like, yeah, I know. And then I get it. And then he comes out of his competition match and then he looks right at me. He's like, holy crap. I'm like,
you weren't kidding.
Yeah, I told you.
Yeah, but if you don't know, you don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a big thing that a lot of new practitioners, or not even new, but people that have never competed before and they want to sign up for a competition, it's a huge mental hurdle to get through. You get waves of anxiety, you get waves of nervousness, You're not exactly sure like how to prepare, how to train, what weight you're comfortable at, what kind of game plan you should have, where you excel, where it's hard for you to get out of in competition. There's like so many different factors. And I've come up with a course to go combat those thoughts and to get you mentally prepared and hold you accountable to your weight to make sure that you're as prepared as possible for jiu-jitsu outside of your regular jiu-jitsu training.
And this is a new thing for you. This is one of your goals that you were trying to accomplish, and now it's kind of rolling out into be something cool.
Yeah.
So his My Odyssey program, for those of you who don't know, Nick is part-time life coach with My Odyssey, and he creates his own programs that are customizable all the way to what you want to attain. Yeah. And he has now come up with a competition program so that if you are getting ready for your competition, whether it's your first one or your 50th one, I mean, there's still nerves there. Nick, like he said, he's
like when you level up in competition, the nerves get higher.
Yeah. Like he's competed lots and he still gets like the jitters and nervousness right before he goes on the mat. And so
I'm just better experienced at how to manage it.
Yep. But a lot of people aren't. So he's come up with this program, and it will help you get ready for competition, whether you're feeling on top of the world or ready to pass out because you don't want to do it. Like me.
Right. Yeah. And I think one huge thing with competition in general is setting the right expectations. You know, because if you go in there expecting to lose, more likely it's going to happen. If you go in there expecting to win and you don't, it's like way harder to deal with.
Like Natalie Boss says, how do you expect to be a world champion if you don't act like it?
Right.
You have to go in there wanting it.
Right.
It has to be your goal to go in there, and you have to want it.
Yeah, but wanting it is different than expecting it.
True.
Yeah, so if you expect to win, you're probably not going to win either because you're going to be too comfortable.
Cocky.
Yes.
Yep.
But if you expect to lose, you're also not going to have any confidence.
Yep.
And you're going to go in there losing.
It's actually my biggest hurdle with competition is that I get very frustrated when I hear people tell other ones, like, you're going to win. You're going to be fine. Like, I don't like it when people say that because as great of a grappler as someone can be, you still, like we talked about earlier, there's still so many hurdles that you can come across. That
so many things out of your control.
Yeah, things that you don't know or can't expect to happen. That as you can be a fantastic grappler. We all have seen and watched Nick be a fantastic grappler, but that doesn't mean he's going to go out there and win every single match in his lifetime.
Right.
Because he's lost some, even as a fantastic grappler.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I get really frustrated, especially when it's me out there. And everyone's like, you're going to win. You're going to be fine. And I'm like, but now I feel like I have all this pressure on me to do exactly what you think I'm going to do. And if I lose, like, I don't think you're going to see less of me. But, like, now you've put this expectation saying, like, well, you're a fantastic grappler. You're super aggressive. You're one of the more aggressive females that I've ever rolled with and all that stuff. And it's like, okay, but that doesn't mean I'm going to go against another aggressive female who is maybe amped up on me. And then maybe I lose by points. Maybe I lose by submission or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
So basically what I'm saying is don't put your expectations on other people.
Yeah, and that's part of the course too, is learning how to manage other people's expectations, how to internalize it, and how to reciprocate the feelings that they're trying to send to you, but not hold on to their expectations. Yeah. Yeah, what I tell people in that situation is remember the reason they're saying that is because they want to support you. They're here for you, and they want you to win. And they're trying to boost your confidence.
Yeah.
And that's all you want to take from it. You don't want to take anything more outside of that and just say thank you.
That's where, like, I didn't tell Abro on his last competition because I didn't want to put my expectation on him. But I know how well of a grappler Abro is. I've rolled with other people at other gyms. I've rolled with Abro plenty. Like, I knew that he was going to do fairly well. And I didn't tell him this right away until after he had got a medal. But I did tell my sister, I was like, if Abro loses this first one, I hope he doesn't. But if he does, he will go out there and win the rest. But that was an expectation that I had placed on him in my head. Like, he may lose the first one, but I know he's going to win the rest. And that's exactly what happened, which is kind of funny. But I didn't want to tell him that, and I didn't want to make him think like, oh, well, I don't want to lose the first one. Or, like, what if I don't win all the rest of them? So I didn't ever give him that expectation, but I definitely, like, had it in my head, like, this is what I foresee happening.
Sure.
And it was kind of cool when it actually worked out that way.
Yeah, that was a good premonition. But I'm sure what you did tell him, though, was good skill, right?
Yeah.
Put your best out there, get ready to learn, get ready to have a good time.
Yeah.
And enjoy it, the experience.
Yeah, and basically my whole point of telling that little story was, again, don't put your expectations on other people. Just be their support system and help them through things, but don't tell them they're going to win. That drives me absolutely nuts.
Your dad told me that if I won, I could get candy, so that was good motivation.
Yeah. But notice your word there, you said if.
Yeah.
He didn't say when you win, I'll give you this candy. He said if you win, I'll give you this candy.
It was also funny because I told him my brackets, it was best 2 out of 3 for both gi and no gi. So total maybe a 6 matches if it went best 2 out of 3 for both. And he was like, nah, just have 4 matches. It'll be easier that way. 4 wins and that's it. That'll be your day. And I was like, oh, okay. Sounds like a great plan. Yeah. Turns out it was a good plan.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so go a little bit more detail about your program.
Yeah. Well,
Scarlett's coming.
I did talk to you about dealing with the expectations.
Mm-hmm.
But also accountability of making weight. There's visual metrics on how to make sure that you're on the weight at the right time.
Mm-hmm. We need to get a different barricade, apparently. Scarlett's busted through it 3 weeks in a row now.
Yeah, this is an issue.
But I'll get her.
This is not
You keep talking. Come on.
Go kennel.
Come on.
Go kennel.
Scarlett, come here.
Kennel.
Come on, Scarlett. Come here. You want a treat?
Oh, Scarlett. Sorry about that minor interruption. This show is brought to you by our dogs, Brown Dog and White and Black Dog. Brown Dog is back in jail now.
Sorry, guys. I'm trying to be quiet so your ears aren't just hearing my gi.
It's okay.
But anyway.
I don't remember what we were talking about.
We were talking about, I said, talk about your program more. So, like, what does it entail? How long is it? How do people sign up if they're interested?
Yeah, so the program, it can be a 1-month program. I don't want to do shorter than 1 month because otherwise it's just me like talking to you like twice before you compete. So it's 1 month, 2 months, or 3 months, depending on how long you want to prepare mentally for your competition and where you think you are.
Mm-hmm.
The more practice you have with it, the easier it is to manage your emotions, your anxiety, your expectations, and your weight. Mm-hmm. The more time, the better you can manage those things. But it's housed in an online program, and I'm going to make a flyer for it soon, and it may be hosted on a couple other websites soon. But it's in the works. It's almost ready to be published, and I have had one person that worked through it so far and helps me curate it, make it better for him and people in the future. And it worked out well for him. His testimonial was good. He was better prepared for competition. He made weight with some room to spare. And ultimately, he enjoyed the competition, even though it was very stressful to get through. His expectations were set properly, where he was able to make a great time out of it, even though he didn't get the results that he wanted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, if you're interested in that, let us know.
Mm-hmm.
And
just send me a message.
I think the coolest thing about that one specifically is that it can be so broad spectrum to anyone who is getting ready for competition. It doesn't have to be like specifically made to anyone at Fluid or anyone that you know. Like, it can be for anyone who's getting ready for competition. But then the other cool part about it too is that it's, like you said, a minimum of 1 month, but you can go up to 3 months that you said?
Yeah, I got 3 months.
So it's it's a super short term commitment, and you don't have to be logged into this program for a year.
Yeah. Yes. And there's daily actions, there's reminders, there's little journal worksheets, there's meetings with me, there's a lot of good stuff in there.
Mm-hmm. But goal setting.
Yeah, goal setting. So after Pans, we'll see what other kind of tournaments we'll be getting into this year.
Yeah. We have lots of big things coming up, so stay tuned. and we'll keep you updated. We also just bought merch. We just bought some coffee cups this week with our logo on it. So
trying to make some t-shirts.
Yeah, we're going to probably be doing some of that stuff. So if you're interested in any of that, let us know. Otherwise, I think that's all I have about goals.
Yeah, I think so.
Yep.
My dog broke out of jail again.
Yep.
We need a new barricade and we need a new jail.
Yep. So, all right, from Nick, Scarlett, and Brittany. Thanks for listening.
Thank you guys. Have a great day.
Have a great night.